Πολύ σημαντικές προσωπικότητες του χώρου του animation έδωσαν φέτος το παρόν στο 18ο Animasyros στην Ερμούπολη. Μία από αυτές ήταν ο Bill Kinder, διευθυντής του τμήματος μοντάζ και post-production στην Pixar, των κολοσσό των κινουμένων σχεδίων από το 1996 έως το 2014. Ήταν αυτός που ίδρυσε το τμήμα και υπέγραψε αρκετές από τις τεράστιες εμπορικές επιτυχίες του αμερικανικού στούντιο. Από τότε μέχρι σήμερα έχει συνεργαστεί με πολλά στούντια animation σε όλο τον κόσμο, παρέχοντας συμβουλές και κάνοντας παραγωγές. Αυτή την περίοδο έχει ως έδρα του το Παρίσι, όπου είναι υπεύθυνος διεύθυνσης και παραγωγής της στην. Ο κορυφαίος Αμερικανός δημιουργός έδωσε ένα masterclass στο Animasyros, όπου ανέλησε τον τρόπο εργασίας του, αλλά και τις μεθόδους μοντάζ που χρησιμοποίησε, παρουσιάζοντας παράλληλα το εξαιρετικά ενδιαφέρον βιβλίο του, κάνοντας μοντάζ στην Pixar, η τέχνη του να μοντάρεις animation. Αυτή ήταν μια λαμπρή αφορμή για να μιλήσουμε για την τέχνη του μοντάζ.
I had a great run at Pixar. I was there when you think of those glory days from A Bug's Life, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, Toy Story 2, WALL-E, Ratatouille. I mean, this was an incredible run of films to be a part of, and I will always cherish that experience. And I'm happy now to be out in the wild and taking that experience and trying to spread, in a way, I feel like a preacher of the editing gospel. I'm just trying to support editors everywhere I go and remind them if we just give the editor and the story artist a little more time, we can make the story that much better. It doesn't cost a lot to work in pencils and on a laptop to edit, but that's where the real choices are made that influence the building of the film later. In animation, you get to edit the film before you shoot. A lot of people think, why would you edit animation? It's expensive to animate. And if you cut a couple of frames, do you really need an editor to do that? But you're not thinking about the story process and working in animatics and pencil drawings before you animate. It's kind of like architecture, where you have a blueprint before you build the building, because you don't want to say, well, I want to move that wall. Now that we built the wall and now that I see it, I want the wall over here, right? And that's the point of doing animatics in animation. And it's not only for, you know, shot planning and kind of the geography of locating characters in a set. It's actually much more for emotion and creating the emotional ride that people experience in these great stories. And it's not just Pixar, it's all the great stories that are coming through animation start out as pencil drawings. And you say, if it's working as a pencil drawing with a rough voice, it's going to be amazing in whatever style of animation we finish it in with, you know, a great actor's voice or the music or whatever the real sound is going to be.
Sometimes you might have several shots.
The chemistry between an editor and a director is fundamental, and it's an incredibly key central relationship in the making of any film. Any great director will tell you that they rely on their editor to be a sounding board, to be a fresh pair of eyes, to be a trusted opinion. And the editor is not there to insert their opinion, it's to explore ways to support the director's vision. That said, you're right, it's pretty boring to watch someone edit. It's hard to tell what they're doing, moving things around, but the important thing is to see the sequence that they've put together as if it were a film. We're talking about animatics, and imagining, seeing through the pencil drawings to the final project and imagining those choices that the editor's making winding up in the final film.
Ποιο είναι όμως το μυστικό του μοντάζ? Υπάρχει μαγεία?
And magic is a good word, because what do editors do? They misdirect. What do magicians do? They misdirect. If they want to pull the rabbit out of the hat, they get you looking over here before they pull it out. And that's often what an editor is doing, is hiding what they've done. So it's difficult, unless you pay attention to a lot of editing, to even decode what choices were made. And I understand the problem of getting to that understanding. It is hard to be an editor. It is hard to be a magician. But when you put two things together that create a third thing, I call it 1 + 1 = 3. You know, that right there is the magic of editing, is juxtaposing images or sounds with images that create an idea or importantly, a feeling in the viewer as they're watching the film.
It gets a little complicated, indeed.